Happy Tuesday, everyone, and welcome to the Purple Portal with Elaine Bartlett. I am always so delighted to be back with you again. It's the weirdest thing, but even through the ethers of the airwaves, some which way, even though I don't know your names in some cases, I don't really know if you're actually listening, I feel connected and interwoven with you as if you were right here. So today, oh my heavenly days, I have so much to share with you, simply because a lot has been brought up to my attention again. So some of you will want to call in, some of you will want to email me further on it. So the call-in number, just in case, 321-806-3159. Once again, 321-806-3159. 3159. And if you're going to need to email me about, Elaine, what the heck are you saying? What are you talking about? It's purple, color purple, portal 777 at gmail.com. So once again, purple portal 777 at gmail.com. And I already see we have a caller on the line. Hi there.
Hi, Elaine. It's Sydney.
Hello, Miss Sydney.
From New Jersey.
Did you go to Paris?
I did.
Okay, well, welcome home.
Thank you.
Was it a wonderful trip, honey?
It was quite a whirlwind. It was okay. There was nothing earth-shattering, and I have no wild stories to tell, and I'm a storyteller.
Okay, all right then.
Yeah, but answered some questions. So that was good.
Okay.
But I'm looking still for something to sink my teeth into. So I'm wondering about my gene keys. I don't use that as a tool. I haven't recently.
Okay.
I think that's what you were, one of the things
Absolutely.
You were gonna chat about.
It's the hot topic today.
Yeah.
Sydney, there's a couple of things that I don't know when I shared the gene keys up in Jersey, whether I actually gave too much energy to something called human design. Does that register at all with you?
That's on the fringes. I don't think so.
Okay.
It's some time ago, and I really haven't looked in at my whatever it's called.
Okay. So
reading or stuff.
All right. For you listeners, what Sydney is alluding to is what the whole show is going to be about today. And I'm going to be giving you some very, very important websites or information portals. And Sydney, you're sort of my trigger point here. So I'm going to go back and forth between directing it to you, but really directing it to everyone because it's the show. Great. So the Gene Keys is a body of work. It's a body, if you will, of light language. And I don't mean lightweight. I mean as in illumination, the language of light. And this information came through a gentleman over in England, Richard Rudd, R-U-D-D. And the name of his book is Gene, G-E-N-E, like your genes in your body, Keys, K-E-Y-S. And the subtitle is Unlocking the Higher Purpose Hidden in Your DNA. So Sydney's question is, gee, I see you're going to be talking about the gene keys. I still don't quite know the purpose, the direction. Well, it is incorporated in the gene keys, although it's not going to say, Sydney, go become a prima ballerina. It's not going to say that. It's going to give aspects of your ego and of your non-ego, which are standing in the way of you remembering who you are. I think I've boiled it down to each one of us having to really fully practice and contemplate the essence of ourself. You were probably traveling last week, Sydney, but it's interesting. I said twice on the air I repeated something that a master's teacher's teacher had repeated to the student, and then to me, because I got it. And incorporated in it was the fact that I am the eternal one. And afterward, I thought, oh my goodness, if people took that out of context, that's going to be a mess, a mess as far as slandering me. Who the heck does she think she is? But also, it's hard to embody it. And the gene keys are a fantastic tool to help us remember I am that. I am the way, the truth, and the light. I am the path. There's nothing to get. But every religion and philosophy absolutely waters that down, if not 100% distorts it. So in my journey, before I was called to study the gene keys, because the gene keys call you. There's just no doubt about it. You and still sometimes they call the person and they can't get it, because it takes a lot of contemplation and stillness. But the gene keys stand upon astrology and the I Ching. Oh, and the I Ching is the most ancient oracle known to mankind. And the gene keys actually stand upon a discipline known as human design. Now, human design is a fascinating. Oh my gosh, it is so fascinating. If the gene keys had not come along and distracted me from my actual study with human design, I'd probably have really pursued it with gusto, but I got distracted and I was running a big business. Life happened. And then I had to move 7 times in a row. Other than that, there's no reason why I wasn't disciplined enough. But here is a website that I'm going to suggest, Sydney, you go to, and everybody else. HumanDesignAmerica.com. Now, what it does, it gives you your profile, what they call your profile, but then so does the gene keys. So you see, the gene keys actually stands upon this. And you learn the dangdest stuff in this thing. I did buy the manual, which is called Living Your Design, a new manual for awakening. This manual was actually revised and edited by none other than Richard Rudd. You see, so he went on to do that. So, and it actually tells your design. What have you come to do? What's your personality about? Now, it's interesting. In my human design, I am something called a projector / a reflector. It's an odd combination. It's not the most popular combination, which would account for the fact that most of my life I have felt I'm standing on the outside looking in, as if I don't belong. And it's a combination that would sort of validate that. And in my case, it says, I have to wait for the invitation. So I can't be the one that kind of extends, almost every other energy field is very good at take the bull by the horns and let's go do it. My spirit's not interested in that. I'm more of the witness, the observer, the reflector, the contemplator, which is why all of these are very easy for me. I'm designed that way. So the whole purpose of this human design is to show you your uniqueness. And the first step to knowing yourself is seeing your definition. And the first step in being yourself is relying on that definition. So you see, every time I take the initiative, not such a great thing. Although, thank God, there's other ways that I'm wired that help me with that. But it's nice to know I actually have to wait for the invitation. It takes so much pressure off. And,
I'm a take the bull by the horns girl.
Yes, I bet you are. And I'll bet you it's described in your human design pattern. And,
it's not working for me, though.
Well,
that's not working.
But maybe your human design is, guess what? Wait for the invitation.
Right.
You
That's
could think you're,
right.
yeah. So the next step in the human design pattern takes you to see what is open in you. Now, what that means is, you listeners, it shows you, and I would suggest you print it out because it's absolutely quite beautiful. You have a printout of, it almost looks like it changes your body into some sort of robotic format. And you see different pockets on this, your spleen, your sacral, your ajna, different energy fields. And if they're colored in, then they're open for you. So, and this is in order for you to recognize what your strong suits are, but where you have been conditioned or misconditioned. So it goes on to explain that becoming yourself requires that you stop identifying with certain centers. And it takes, so you're ready for this, it takes 7 years to clean out the conditioning. So these are challenges, and it's interesting. When I came into the studio today, my precious Jeff, who is the commander here of the studio, we were speaking of how many people had come in across his life in the past few days, all speaking about change. And then I walked in, I'm speaking about it. I had a great deal of difficulty getting my article out for next month's magazine for Jeff. And, of course, the bottom line is it's all about change.
Yeah.
So we're in this pattern. And, Sydney, I suggested to Jeff that those who are going to resist the change, they'll have to leave. So it's critical for us really to get down and dirty with, okay, so for you, I'm going to say, go back, go to this human design, at least poke around with a little bit. And for some of you, okay, you'll get just so far. This is why I'm a valuable resource in people's life. You do some work, you try to figure it out, and when you get, over your head, that's when you say, Elaine, let's make an appointment. Let's take some time. Walk me through it. Because now I'm dangerous enough to be able to interlink human design with your gene keys. And within the past 4 days, now, both of these things have been off my radar as I have been very diligently working with Living Reality for the past 18 months. Because I want to cut right to the chase. I really want to get the full clarity of the fact that there's no me. There is no Elaine. The me is false. So I have been working it and practicing it and going into no thingness, which of course all of these two disciplines are going to lead you there. Sydney, in your case, you have to lose your mind. Your mind is a beautiful tool, but it's